99% of people are working out their legs wrong. They focus on machines and just one plane of motion. In today's video, I'll be covering the most underrated exercise that you can build strong and mobile legs with just calisthenics. It's the Cossack squat. We're gonna be learning how to develop ankle mobility and hip external rotation, and there will be also a follow along routine at the very end of it, so stay tuned. The first exercise we're gonna cover is ankle plantarflexion. So instead of stretching our ankles like we normally do with our dorsiflexion, there's only so much range you can have with pushing your knees forward. A lot of people tend to have their heels all the way up, and what tends to happen is you tend to compensate. What you wanna do is stretch out your back of your ankles, doing a couple of these reps. So in this follow along, we're gonna be doing 10 reps of these. And 10. Okay, perfect. Once you're done that and you've stretched out the front of the ankles, now it's time to work on the rotation of your ankles. We're gonna work on what we call ankle eversion. Bringing our kettlebell right close to our ankles right here, so your ankles are facing upwards at an angle slant. And what you wanna do with this one is slowly come back down until you feel an outer stretch in here, and then push down in toward the ground. So you wanna get also 10 reps of these on each of that leg. So here we're gonna do 10 reps here, and then 10 reps on the left-hand side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next one here is also ankle dorsiflexion. So what that means is getting our knees over our toes with an ankle weight. So this is actually gonna help deepen into the stretch. And what you wanna do is not just let the weight push you down, you wanna also push the toes down into the ground, and you should feel a really tight stretch here, and try to get your hamstrings over your calves. If you're not able to do that, that's completely fine. You can just work in that normal range of motion, trying to keep that heel as glued to the ground as possible. So if you don't have like a complete range of motion like most, you can always start at the very top here, and slowly as time goes on, your ankles and Achilles get really flexible. Push with your hamstrings above the calf. This is where the gold standard is. That's gonna help you with a lot of calisthenics movements, like for example, your pistol squats. That's gonna really help you. The next movement is hip external rotation. Hip internal rotation means that your hip is moving here. External is placing your arms out. When you're doing a Cossack squat, your knees, hips don't cave in. You wanna press them as much as you can outwards to open that joint space. So what we're gonna be doing with hip external rotation is a butterfly stretch. So in a butterfly stretch, you're gonna open up that hips really wide. And if you're wondering, oh, this is really advanced, you can always regress the movement by placing your legs outward like this. So by placing your legs outward, you feel less of a stretch in that hip capsule. So for beginners, I would have you place your legs outward and slowly have a 15-pound, or not even a 15-pound, it could be like a 2-pound, 3-pound weight right here. You place it right at the end of the knee, and you contract and relax. This is what we call like a PNF, where you're utilizing the muscles to strengthen your range, right? So when you're contracting up, you want to use your adductors, and when you're coming down, use your TFL, so the back of your glute. Okay? So this is going to be a follow along where you're going to do 10 reps of these. Contract, relax. 2. And then the next movement, if you find that really, really easy, you can always progress. And that's how you know you're actually progressing in your mobility, by getting your legs as close to the body as much as possible. And then your knees should obviously almost touch that ground. So this is my active range, and this is where you typically would be at. Like, that's optimal to help you get into a Cossack squat. Come up and then relax. Also 10 reps. So the last of the movement is practicing the skill itself. It's useless doing the mobility without the skill. So in this, you want to grab like a pole. You can also grab like a doorway, a sturdy object, hold on tightly. And in terms of stance, you're probably wondering, how should I stand? Imagine shoulder width apart, and then 12 inches away each end. Once you have this stance, I want you to slowly put 90% of the weight on the quad, and then 30% of the weight on your ankle. So you feel that stretch in the ankle. If you feel that tightness, you want to stop there, come back up. Same thing with the other side. And then when you're going down, you don't want to just put your knee forward. You want to externally rotate it. That's why we did the external rotation of that hip, to be able to open up our hips. And then this is going to strengthen that inner portion of your adductors, which is multi-use into developing leg strength. So again, holding on. So it's going to be a follow along. I'm going to be doing 10 reps each side. Perfect. And this is how you master mobility and calisthenics. If you want to follow for more mobility and calisthenics, subscribe for more content.